Yo, Hotel family, what up, what up, what up? Yo, it's the G King Shu, man. And I'm gonna give y'all a fair warning before I even do this video that this is probably one of the videos that's gonna get choppy, conveniently get choppy, and or start skipping or something, start skipping and getting blurry and all type of crazy shit, because I think I'm figuring something out and I'm about to go win on it. But before I go win, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick little story. So yesterday, I posted some videos on. I post all my Instagram live videos on YouTube. So if you ain't subscribed to me on YouTube, go ahead, go right now. And if you're not subscribed to me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That's King_Shu. It's just King Shu on YouTube. And go ahead and hit that notification, cause just so you know when I drop some videos, cause I only do it when I really feel like I got something to say. But all of a sudden yesterday, I'm getting a lot of notifications, people leaving comments. I'm getting more people to view my video more than usual. And I'm like, what the fuck going on? So long story short, one of the queens finally let me know, like, yo, she found out about my video through this sister. Her name is Radical Home Goddess. That's what I know her as, but her name now is Radical Home Sister. So I would be remiss if I didn't show my love to this queen, this goddess queen, my big sister, Radical Home Sister. You know what I'm saying? She's a beautiful spirit. She's very supportive. She's not one of these Hollywood, because she has a good following, but she's not one of these Hollywood conscious people like, some of the people that we know. These brothers with all these super egos who want to be king. You know what I'm saying? Don't mistake my name King Shu. I'm a king, but you got these brothers out here who want to be the king. You understand what I'm saying? It's a difference. But this queen right here, this sister right here, she always shows support. Beautiful, positive spirit. The first time I realized who she was, it was funny to me, because I wouldn't think a person with a positive energy like hers would even listen to a brother like me, because I curse. The way I give up my energy is sometimes, but nonetheless, she gave me nothing but support, and she reposted some of my one of my videos, and a lot of people got a chance to see it and came to support. So, Queen, I appreciate you to the utmost. You feel me? And she basically was pointing out yesterday that, and I didn't even know this, and she was the first one to leave a comment, and I didn't see her comment because YouTube is playing games. YouTube was playing games where she would leave comments, and she had to create like 4 different pages just so she can get her comment through and do certain things, because they censoring her message. You understand what I'm saying? These are the games that these people play. And that segues me into this video right here, which I'm going to entitle Aliens versus Artificial Intelligence. Now, I know people like, what the hell are you talking about, aliens versus artificial intelligence? Especially the brothers and sisters who really know me, who know I don't deal with the spookiness, I don't deal with the conspiracies and stuff like that. But I am a fan of science fiction, as far as science fiction movies. And I do understand that some science fiction movies is scientifically possible. So to segue into my topic, I know a lot of us, I know for me, like, I always draw the question of how in the world were we enslaved and conquered by the groups of people that we were conquered by. We see these people, and this is no secret. The history is that we was conquered and enslaved by Europeans and Arabs. I'm unapologetic about that, because they was unapologetic about how they do us and how they've done us. You understand what I'm saying? So, sometimes I have the question, like, how in the world was our ancestors conquered? And I got many different answers to that question. You know what I'm saying? It's a rhetorical question. But, sometimes you tell me if I'm lying. You can get on the bus, get on the public transportation, sitting next to these people. Oh shit. I'm tripping. You can get on the bus and get sit next to these people, and and just see some of their movements, just small things. Even me, just sitting in traffic, I can see the way they drive. Their decision making is not quick enough. They coordination is not quick enough to make certain decisions. So I'm thinking, like, how in the world was they able to defeat us? So, you know, obviously, you know, I deal with science. I like to deal with science, math, history, nature, and things like that. So, dealing with science, you understand that it's a phenomenon called technology, and I just realized that they learned how to master technology, and that was the difference. Whereas though we were still dealing with spirituality, we mastered technology too. We were some of the first, but it was kind of sacred to us. Like, for example, like smelting iron, you know, burning, you know, melting iron and casting molds and things like that. We did that as well. We did it first, but we didn't create weapons with it. We wasn't so gun-ho. So when they came back to Africa, you know, the Arabs and people of that nature, you know, they was warriors. You know, it's in their nature. They was warriors. That wasn't in our nature, so that's how they was able to conquer us. But it was more so the technology that we didn't advance on. So that brings me to artificial intelligence. It's a movie called Upgraded. It's a couple movies. It's a movie called Upgraded. It's a movie called Ex Machina or Machina, something like that, right? Well, in Upgraded and Ex Machina, however you pronounce that, it's basically speaking on artificial intelligence, not just artificial intelligence, sentient artificial intelligence, meaning that this artificial intelligence has a consciousness of its own. So that leads me to you know, form questions of maybe, do this really exist? Do this really exist? Because it's a brother on Instagram. His name is Mr. Imhotep. You have MISTER_Imhotep. IMHOTEP. And he posted about the Ishango bone. The Ishango bone is the earliest, is one of the first calculators, if not the first calculator known to man. And basically it's a little bone. I believe it's a bone from it could be a baboon or something like that. And the way they, you know, just look it up, Ishango bone. I don't want to, you know, go all the way into that. But that was like a first form of technology. So when you hear people talk about our ancestors and how they created pyramids, you know, they like to give credit to aliens and stuff. So here we have it. If you notice the pattern, any, you know, technology, you know, advanced technology or technology we never had before or can't explain, it tends to, you know, get referred back to aliens or extraterrestrials. Now, and you know, for some reason, you know, these scientists want to put the Ishango bone out of space. They want to send it out of space. So now it makes you think, like, who the fuck is out of space? You know what I'm saying? Who is out of space they want to send the bone to? But I'm not so quick to fall into the alien category. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back to the alien stuff, where what I really think is going on when we dealing with extraterrestrials, and it's going to refer back to another science fiction movie. But Ex Machina and the movie Upgraded. Upgraded is an excellent movie. Go check that out. It's one of them. It's one of the movies where, like, it's you don't know who the enemy is. You don't know who's the bad guy in that movie. And then once you see how it goes at the end, you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's crazy. Well, so if you have sentient artificial intelligence, there's computers right now that can solve problems. Obviously, we know computers solve problems faster than we can. You know what I'm saying? So if you create a computer or two type of computers that can communicate to each other, and this is another show I like to watch, and I don't care who it is, you know, you can't be so caught up with hatred that you hinder yourself, meaning you can't hate white people or certain type of people to the point where you're not willing to listen to what they got to say. So it's a dude named Joe Rogan. and he's fascinated with scientists and stuff like that. He always got it on his show. He always got some interesting people. And there was a white dude who was talking about artificial intelligence. Now, I know everybody remember Terminator. If you haven't seen the movie Terminator, that's another movie that gave example of artificial intelligence. So now, if you've been following, the trends in science, you see a lot of robots right now who's like, they damn near look human. If they don't look human, they perform human functions. Like, you got robots who can walk upstairs, walk downstairs, who can hold guns. The technology is getting crazy. So now, what if you can program the computer to think? And this is very well possible, to program the computer to think. So this leads me back to when I say, how was we conquered? You know what I'm saying? How did all this new technology, come to pass? Maybe once they came across one technology, which is the computer, you can create a supercomputer that can actually think and problem solve. And I can't think of the term right now, but basically, it thinks to the point where it's conscious of the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And it's solving, thousands of problems, faster than we can solve one. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really too concerned with an alien extraterrestrial outbreak. I'm more concerned with a artificial intelligence outbreak. I'm more concerned, and while we really thinking that is people in the office who censoring our message, it honestly could be a conscious computer that's making these decisions. Now, I'm not saying we so as far as the Terminator, where all human beings got to worry about it and they can create certain, you know what I'm saying? But I do think, it's programs that's been created that allows the computer to think for itself, or allows the computer to advance, like to adapt, basically. That's what I'm really trying to say. It allows the computer to adapt. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the, the artificial intelligence part of it. But to get to the alien extraterrestrial part of it, how I want to start. Like I said, they want to send the Ishango bone into outer space. So it makes you think, why are we so fascinated with sending things out of space? And that's another thing. I'm not saying it's impossible for other life forms to be out there. For every grain of sand, it's a universe out there. It's a solar system for every grain of sand on this planet. Just do the math on that. So it's very well possible, you understand, that it's other life on other planets. But it's not about possible all the time. It's about probable. Is it probable or likely that we will come across certain intelligent life form on these different planets? We dealing with thousands of light years away. So if you're not familiar with light years, if a planet is 800 light years away, that means it takes 800 years before light can travel. And we know how fast the speed of light is. So it takes 800 years before light can travel to that particular planet. So this is why certain stars, you looking at ghosts, you looking at something that's not even there anymore. So when we look at, when I say we, when science looks at, through the powerful telescopes, looking at certain stars that's maybe 1,000 light years away, it is very well possible that that star don't even exist no more. But it's taking that long for that light to come to us where we can see it. So by the time, I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. It can be a star that we looking at, and the light that we looking at is being that it takes 800 years for that light to travel. Within that 800 years, that star could have been died. And see, there you go. And the light that we looking at, is actually a light from the past, if that makes sense. So and another thing, if we was dealing with to travel light speed, I mean, it would still take 800 years. So it's very improbable that any type of life form made up of certain type of matter, or any biological life form, is going to really travel that far, whether it's intelligent or not. Now, if it is going to travel that far, more than likely it's going to have to be in a mechanical form. It's going to have to be in a computer form. That's why I don't believe that nobody had a moon landing. I don't believe no human beings went to the moon. But I do believe that you know how they got the rover, the little spacecrafts. I do believe that we send certain spacecrafts to certain planets, or like the moon or Mars and things like that. So basically what I'm saying is that's where the alien life form and the artificial intelligent life form coexist. I'm not sure if anyone ever seen Prometheus or the Covenant or Alien Covenant. It's another example of the artificial life form, where the artificial life form can get so advanced that it can take over us. So I don't believe aliens is really the issue, because if any biological creature that's advanced enough to go across space, I don't believe the form is going to be able to make it across across space. It's going to have to be some type of mechanical form, just like how we send rovers and things to explore. Now the thing is, whether people want to start putting certain chips inside those rovers to pretty much think for itself, to pretty much adapt and start making movements without our decision making. That's the key. You understand what I'm saying? So to get back to the alien life form, I'm about to mess y'all head up. I'm about to mess y'all head up right now, because it's another theory. It's another theory that Americans. Excuse me, family. I'm tired as hell. I know where I'm headed. Peace, Queen. How you doing, beloved? You know what I'm saying? It's another theory, right? Damn. It's a new movie coming out called Venom. Now, it's in science. If anybody who understand evolution, right? People always say how to become. People like. Let me clear this up. Evolution do not say that we come from monkeys. It do not say we come from monkeys or the great ape. It say we come from ape-like creatures. All right. So, we do not. It don't. Matter of fact, it don't even say we come from ape-like creatures. It say we have the common ancestor as the great apes. We have a common ancestor. But if that sounds far-fetched to you, just understand that we have a common ancestor with every living organism. Everything comes from a single cell. Everything started from a single cell and evolved into different forms. And if you go on my YouTube, you could go into the archive, and I did a whole presentation I illustrated it and all that. I show a whole visual of how this happens. You know what I'm saying? Step by step. And it's a 45-minute video. That's how long it takes to explain how evolution, take place step by step. Now, basically, so to get back what I was saying, people say, how do we go from a ape-like creature and evolve into the apex predator that we know as Homo sapiens sapien, which is us, the modern human, right? So, some people believe. I mean, obviously, we know what separates us. It's our brain, the way our brain works, and how advanced our brain is. Some of the decisions we can make, and some of the ways we think. Now, that leads you to the question: how did our brain grow? How did our brain grow when their brain didn't? Some people, and this is the one I'm leaning towards. Some people believe once we started eating cooked meat, that caused a certain transformation in the brain, because we didn't have to use as much energy to digest the food. I could be butchering it, but we didn't have to use as much energy to break down the food, so it allowed our brain, the oxygen to our brain, to start to develop more, or what have you. But this is similar to the movie Venom that's coming out. It's a new movie. Peace, Queen. It's a new movie called Venom coming out. And I want to see that shit too. But in the movie Venom, let me start like this. So it's another theory that people believe is, once we was eating fungi. When I say fungi, shout out to the people who eat mushrooms, but I'm not messing with no mushrooms. But basically they were saying You know, the first mushrooms obviously grew out the animal dung, the poop of the animals, right? So the first person out of desperation who didn't have anything to eat and needed to eat, you know, and ate the fungi, which we call as mushrooms, it's something they believe something could have took place, you know, because fungi spreads, and they believe that some fungi have intelligence. So it's an experiment right now in Tokyo. It's called the Tokyo Fungal Experiment, or if you type in Tokyo Fungal, it should finish the rest, and you just look it up. But basically what happens is, it's this goo, like literal goo, like slime. You know what I'm saying? It's fungal, whatever they call it. And they basically saying that this stuff have intelligent life. Like, it's an intelligent creature. Like, it makes decisions on what to do. Long story short, they put oats, you know, like oats, like how we eat, like what you call it, oatmeal, the little oats, the little grains of oats. They mapped out Tokyo, and they mapped out the subway system, or they just mapped out Tokyo or something like that, and they put oats in the major key points. So once the fungal, obviously, once you spread out, right, and the same thing happened with us as humans. We started as a little group, and we went every direction. And once we found the most optimal direction, we would go in the direction that's you know, more beneficial to us. We'll actually think. We won't just go anywhere randomly. We'll think and create certain patterns, you know, to survive. Well, needless to say, this is the same thing that the fungal do. So the fungal, it spreads out, and once it reaches the first grain of oats, then it gets I guess it gets an idea, like, okay, this is what we need to survive, and these are the things that's out there. We understand, you know, it gains a certain type of understanding. Now, once it do that, no bullshit, the fungal spread it out and created a certain pattern that was similar to the Tokyo Tokyo railways, like the trains in Tokyo, just like the subway, like how we have subways in New York, and how the subway system is basically, you know, the most efficient way to travel through the city. Well, the fungal created something very similar to the Tokyo railway system, but not only did it just copy the Tokyo railway system, it improved and made more optimal, you know, way of transportation. So honestly, the engineers is not as smart as that little bit of fungi or fungal, whatever you want to call it. Like, look this up, and the U.S. did it too. But I think Tokyo was the first to do it. Go look it up, and it's crazy. It's nasty too when you see it, because the way the fungal moves, it pulsates. It pulsates an inch, little by little. But by the time it start mapping stuff out, it created a better subway system for Tokyo than the engineers who went to school did. You understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it brings me to the movie Venom. I don't know if y'all familiar with the cartoon character Venom from Spider-Man series. It's one of the characters. Well, Venom, what people don't know, Venom, the creature Venom is not really what we see as that is the man form. The Venom is really like a fungal, just like I described, which they call the symbiote. And the symbiote can just take host, and whoever, you know, the host is, based on the host's personality and all type of stuff, you know, the symbiote, you know, that's what type of creature you're gonna get. So basically, it's just like a fungal. Like, for example, imagine you touch a piece of fungal, and then it just take over your whole body and covers your whole body, and now you the host. Just like a parasite in the host, you the host to this parasite, and you don't just make decisions by yourself. It makes decisions for you, or it makes decisions with you, because you can't control your whole body anymore. So basically, like I said, they basically trying to say that this is what took place in Africa a long time ago from eating certain mushrooms and certain things, where, you know, the the fungal spread it throughout our system and created a more efficient, you know, like a symbiotic relationship with the humans. I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just giving, you know, I'm just, you know, telling certain information that I just came across, which I feel is very interesting. I deal with science, and I love when science fiction and actual science, you know, can come together and actually make sense. So, you know, this is pretty much the end of the video. You know, let me know what y'all think about this. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't on my YouTube, like, go subscribe to the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this IG Live is only 24 hours. But, like, it's very interesting. So when y'all get a chance, don't listen to everything I'm saying. Go really look it up. Go look up the Ishango bone. Go look up the Tokyo fungal experiment, or however they called it. Like, look these things up. It's crazy. Go look up artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So we worried about, like, I'm not worried about no extraterrestrials. I'm worried about artificial intelligence. I'm worried about some dumbass scientists who give too much information and too much power to a computer, or allow the computer to adjust, or allow the computer to think for itself. You know what I'm saying? This is what we really, that's more of a threat than any type of alien or extraterrestrial right now. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you could look in Asia right now, where they got certain robots that speak, and it pretty much look real. You know, if you glance real quick, you wouldn't be able to tell if that's a real person or you know, actual robot. But you know what I'm saying? You know, as time advances, you know, it's going to get better and better, or, you know, worse and worse, however you want to, you know, look at it, and it's going to look more realistic, man, and it's a real threat. But like I said, family, check this video out. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube, if you miss it, or you got to catch it later, or what have you, and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, man. You know what I'm saying? If this video skip and start, you know, getting blurry and words getting blurred out, you already know what it is. It's the artificial intelligence. Now I'm playing, but man, I appreciate y'all, man. And again, man, I'm gonna show love to the Radical Home Sister. If you're on YouTube, go check out the Radical Home Sister as well. You know what I'm saying? Go check her out. She a good person. You know what I'm saying? And you know, y'all already know, man. She GK Shoe, man. I'ma holler at y'all. Alright, hotel.